We're back. Oh my gosh, copyright sucks. Hold on. Let me fix everything, guys. Hold on. You're gonna see something meta. You're gonna watch me be in the live stream. Hold on. Hold on. Do 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 do. Hold on. Let me let me the Discord know that I'm live streaming. I still gotta fix that ping system. That's what I meant to say. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm still trying to work everything. I'm breaking the internet right now. Yeah, I am on light mode. I used to be on dark mode on my phone, but I switched over to light mode. And the reason being is that uh I used to because like when you have dark mode on, it's only for certain applications and it kind of like bothers me, you know? Hold on. I'm trying to fix it, guys. It's pretty crazy, right? This is the multiverse of Rannies. Okay. Ranny into the Rannyverse. I mean, dark mode looks nice, but and it's easier on the eyes, but I just like the consistency of light mode. I'll probably switch back to dark mode eventually. Hey, what's up, Magma? Is that your name? Yeah, this is the new multiverse movie, guys. Hold on, let me fix the screen. There we go. I don't like the black bars. It's my OCD was making me not happy. Hold on. Okay, that's good enough. Good enough, right? Okay. So I think the reason is I can't watch Jordan Peele videos because it's from Comedy Central. So basically, I can't watch any video that's from like a TV network. Like, cause this happened before with Crunchyroll. This happened before with I mean, it happened with Comedy Central. So yeah, I guess like I can't watch anything like that. Like especially live streaming, I guess, because it counts as like you're just streaming illegally streaming episodes. My guy, don't do that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Victoria. If you have other video suggestions, let me know. But next up on the list is um rewriting Spider-Man. So we're gonna check this out. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. I think I'm just gonna skip the intro, or maybe I'll keep the intro. Let's see. Let's see. We will watch the Splatoon 3 trailer.
You
Yeah.
guys, I like the Spider-Man movie. Holy shit, I love Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, it was
Or,
great.
I think I love it. Jury's still out on if I want to just throw around the L word like that, but after over a year of leaks and rumors and speculation and hype, I prepped myself for disappointment.
My dress up darling. That sounds scary. I haven't watched that. I haven't seen it.
And pretty good. Of course, I still got some issues with the movie. A lot of concerns I had ended up being true, so it's fair to expect a fanboy rewrite of it sometime in the future once all the honeymoon phase hype has calmed down. But in spite of those things, the movie still somehow ended up being super enjoyable, and this is overall a huge step in the right direction that this version of Spider-Man, in my opinion, needed to truly be Spider-Man. There are genuine stakes and consequences, and oh my god, there are consequences.
Dude, this
for his
editing
actions.
took
That's kind of the bare minimum, and it shouldn't have taken
forever.
5 years to get there. But oh my god, they did it! And especially after that ending,
Hey,
this
you
is
should
the first
cosplay
time
as
since
Spider-Man.
2016 that I'm
I will.
genuinely
I
excited
should.
to
I
see
have a
something
Spider-Man
involved in this
mask.
version of the character. The way
I have a friend that looks like Batman, like Robert Pattinson, and I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. So like, for this coming up Halloween, I was like, I should dress up as Spider-Man, and you should dress up as Robert Pattinson Batman. I think that'd be fun.
We ended off just screams potential, and I'm over here just crying for more. That was typo. That was supposed to say screaming, but I'm just gonna keep it. That final sequence, Peter sitting alone, looking out the window into the snow, his life having fallen completely.
Okay, blah blah blah. We get it. It's a good movie.
Suit. Oh my god, that's super. And I cannot wait to see where they go. My pitch out
Oh, what is
now,
this?
Since there's probably going to be a good while before we get any info about this next movie, I figured I'd throw my pitch out there for what the 4th movie in this series could be. And so that way, when we do get info, I can do this all over again because I got to keep that Spider-Man content wheel turning. For this video, I want to take a look at some of my favorite things about No Way Home and see how much of that can be applied to these future movies. I don't expect them to go in this direction for the 4th movie. This is more so what I would do if Kevin Feige kicked down my door, back over my head, and took me to a secluded location and then told me to plan out this next college trilogy. As for the director, I think John Watts proved himself with No Way Home and took all the criticisms to heart, but I do think it's time for someone new to take up this trilogy. And that person is High Top Films. I'm kidding. Or am I? I am.
No.
Also, we're dropping the home titles because that was never a good idea to begin with. What were they thinking? So here's my pitch for Spider-Man First Hunt.
First Hunt. Ooh. I don't know if I like that title. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. These ads, my guy. I keep ads on to support the creators, even though I skip them, but you know.
African safari in the blazing sun. A rhinoceros pounds its hooves into the dirt as it prepares to
charge. Oh my gosh, this took forever to make.
As the rhino charges ahead, Kraven the Hunter,
Spectacular Spider-Man, aka the best iteration of Spider-Man.
Its breathing slowing as veterinarians surround it to treat its fever. Sergei Kravinoff claps the dirt off his hands and he sighs. He's been doing this all his life, training to become the best, but there's no challenge.
Man, his hand is really shaky.
That's when his wife Alexandra hands him an envelope. There's no return address and no name attached from a completely anonymous sender. He opens the envelope to see a handful of newspaper clippings. Articles talking about how animal-themed criminals have been popping up all over New York before he flips to the final page.
This is Spectacular Spider-Man. This is like exactly Spectacular Spider-Man, that episode. Also, Kraven's gonna be in the new Spider-Man game, which I'm excited about.
The night sky. All is peaceful and quiet until
my friend cried ugly. Ugly cried. Yo, it was a good movie, man. Good Spider-Man movie. I did hear that the Philippines got No Way Home at a later date, which is sad. But I'm in America, so I got it on time. Okay.
Holy fuck, the Rhino comes crashing through a building with Spider-Man holding on to dear life. Peter's dragged.
Oh yeah, the Rhino hasn't been introduced yet in this iteration.
To get him to lose his grip. And Peter pulls onto his horn to steer him into the local dump. No, not Staten Island. There we go.
Oh, burn.
Eventually takes him down by grabbing his
New York jokes.
him to the ground. Do you see the parallels here? Do you get it? Do I need to explain it to you? Do you get it? It's because he's like... We cut back to Kraven as he looks to his wife and says, I think it's time for a change. I was gonna do a Russian accent. It's not gonna go well. I'm not gonna do that. So why Kraven for this movie? Well, that answer's pretty simple. I really like Kraven, and it's my video, so shut up. Kraven is one of the
I mean, I can't argue there. Man, I'm telling you, if you catch rabies, you're screwed. Oh, yo, I was just talking about that with somebody. No, it was my brother. Yeah, man, if you get... So here's the thing: rabies is lethal. I'm getting on. I mean, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I guess because Kraven's an animal, Spider-Man's an animal. But anyways, rabies is lethal. It's like 100% chance, like you will die, but you have to treat it early, and we do have treatment for it. So if you catch it really early, then you'll be fine.
Super iconic and interesting Spider-Man villains that is long overdue for a movie appearance. The same way that Mysterio was back before Far From Home came out. In fact, John Watts even said that if the multiverse stuff didn't pan out with No Way Home, then they would have made Kraven the main.
Kraven would be really interesting.
As for casting, I have no fucking clue.
I just wonder how you would do it to where it's not super cheesy, because Kraven's kind of, to me, like a cheesy character.
I know Sony's apparently making that Kraven movie with Kick-Ass, aka Mr.
No, you know who would be good? Who would be good? Is it Gerard Butler? Oh, he'd be a good Kraven. He looks like Kraven. I think he's also Australian. No, he's Scottish. Right here. No, Gerard Butler would be good. Yeah. By dog in the face 2 times. Dang, dude, that sucks.
Quicksilver, and I have no idea what's going on
In
with
the
that.
face,
So if that
too.
ends up fitting here, sure, go for him, I guess. Not gonna lie, I've always felt like Idris Elba would be a really good Kraven, but I know he's already Heimdall, and he's also every white person's favorite fan cast for every role, so I don't know. I just think he'd be cool. But yeah, just whoever. Sure, fine. A little problematic, but fine. After that, our usual Marvel fanfare,
Hey,
you know, the
Jason
people
Momoa is
way too
Kraven.
long
I can
to
dig
the
that.
school's old Marvel logo. Oops, I did not mean to keep that in the script. We then cut to Peter as he enters his apartment. His landlord tells him that he's past due on rent and he smells like garbage, but Peter just ignores him. No Way Home left Peter off in the most interesting and unique way that I could possibly imagine. Peter Parker is completely alone.
Yeah, that's so true. In a way, this version of Peter now is worse off than other iterations because at least in other iterations of Spider-Man, Peter has his aunt, he has his friends. MCU Peter literally has nobody. No one knows him like at all, not even Doctor Strange, which is crazy. Um but yeah, like I think that's a really off to a good start. I'm really happy they made Peter suffer in this movie. As sadistic as that sounds, but it's not Spider-Man's story unless Peter Parker and Spider-Man they're suffering.
He literally has nobody. Not a single person in the whole universe even knows he ever existed. This is essentially uncharted territory for this character. He's always had at least an Aunt May, or
Yeah, I
that
like
old
the pun.
crone finally kicks the bucket. He has someone like Mary Jane, but now he has nothing. And I fucking love that. It would be really easy to start this movie off and Peter's already got a new set of friends and we just have a new cast of supporting characters, but I think it'd be far more interesting to really dive into this element, especially given that it's the only time that this story can be told. So with Peter's loneliness comes isolation. His pain is making him cut people out of his life and either stay holed up in his crappy apartment or go out and wear the mask. Peter Parker's life is essentially gone, and he has no real intent on ever bringing it back. He works a shitty job as the IT guy for the Daily Bugle. He hates it there after everything they did, but it's the only place that would hire him. In between movies, he killed his GED exam and he started going to Empire State University with a decent scholarship as long as he can keep his grades up. And we see that the people in his class have tried to reach out to him. I don't want to do Harry Osborn or Gwen just yet. I feel like those are too big of characters to just introduce in between movies.
I know. We don't even have this version of Harry Osborn or Gwen. And I wonder what he'll think now since he met the other versions of Spider-Man. They have their own versions of Osborn and Gwen and how that will play out his interaction with them.
The people in his class are Randy Robertson, Kenny Kong McFarlane, Carly Cooper, and Flash Thompson. I just think it'd be kind of funny if Flash got kicked out of MIT, and also I just want more Tony Revolori because he was kind of wasted in these movies. So they invite him to parties, to go hang out. You know, he's Tom Holland, so he's getting asked out on the daily, but he always declines. He tells himself that it's out of safety for others, that he doesn't want anyone to be put in danger, but in reality, he doesn't want himself to get hurt. After Ned and MJ, he doesn't want to feel that pain of losing someone all over again, and it's made him selfish. The source material of
I like this playing out so far.
NerdSync has a fantastic video on this that I highly recommend, but basically that era of comics portrayed Peter as incredibly selfish, putting himself over everyone else in his life, not as a flaw that he would overcome with growth, but as a positive trait for the character. He essentially regressed back to how he was before Uncle Ben died. Peter doesn't care about Aunt May, he's aggressive with Betty Brant, he even goes and yells at a bunch of people that are protesting against police violence, which, Jesus Christ, that's not a great look, Peter. Basically, it's just kind of common knowledge among readers that this era wasn't exactly the best representation.
Yeah, I agree, Andrew. Like if it's a really good story, this might be the best iteration of Spider-Man, which is crazy for me to say because I'm a big Andrew Garfield fan.
Of the things that Peter Parker stood for. So I think we should adapt it into a movie. No Way Home managed to do the impossible. Somehow it took one of the most hated comics of all time, One More Day, and it made it good? How the fuck? And so now, with Peter at his lowest and most alone, this is going to be the time to tell this kind of story right. Peter Parker is not perfect. He's not the flanderized sweet golden boy that's never done anything wrong in his life ever. He can be flawed and make mistakes. And it's not caused by a symbiote or mind control or anything, but by pain and by trauma and by fear. And it can be his lesson throughout the movie to not be alone anymore, to not be selfish, and to let people back into his life, into Peter Parker's life. Peter ends up going to visit Aunt May's grave. Every day he goes and he talks to her, and if the Sony lawyers let us, maybe we'll show Ben's grave too next to it, maybe.
Yeah, show some Uncle Ben.
Easy. Just do that, and then I think most people would be satisfied. He goes and he talks.
Yeah, and people start loving on Andrew Garfield now. Like, oh, I love Andrew Garfield. I'm like, I've been standing Andrew Garfield since the beginning, man. I have proof of it.
His life, the people he meets, and the ways that he's living up to their legacy as Spider-Man and continuing what they stood for. And that's how we can frame some of these more complex ideas into the introduction through a little bit of narration. If we can't do that, we can also establish that maybe Peter's been filming himself at home to make up for the lack of social interaction he's been getting, you know, like a fucking loser.
Hey, I can relate. Oh man, these ads.
So anyway, as we're establishing these things throughout the first act, we get snippets and montages of Peter fighting various animal-themed villains. Beetle, kangaroo, tarantula, grizzly, human fly, hippo. Holy shit, there's a lot of animal villains. One villain
He
that I
is
want to
Spider-Man.
introduce is the Vermin. Vermin is a character that kind of sucks. He's basically just a rat dude that's like a monster and he eats people, and there's really not that much
Andrew
to him.
Garfield
His biggest
is so
thing is
hot.
that he was in Kraven's last
I mean, he's a
Hunt.
very
Since then,
attractive
he's
man,
been
I'm not
kind of
gonna lie.
forever tied to Kraven, and writers keep on bringing him back. And I forget
Father.
how much people kind of hate him. He sucks. But the reason I want to bring in Vermin is because I think he gives the opportunity to further explore an aspect of No Way Home that I really loved. And that was how Peter's main motivation throughout the movie was to help out all of the different villains. Not by punching them in the face, but by actually trying to make them better. This is the perfect use of the Spider-Man character and shows a true
I grew up
and
with
deep
both
understanding of what
Maguire
makes
and
Peter Parker special.
Andrew.
I really like that it was something that Peter
Well,
had to
really,
figure out.
Maguire
It'd be
to
really
think
easy to
about
just have
if
Peter
you talk about
regress as a
growing up.
character
But
and
I was a
revert back to
teenager when Andrew
traditional
Garfield came
superhero
out.
formula for the rest of the movies, but I would really like to further explore that idea of helping the villains, and not only the sympathetic ones, but all villains. It doesn't take a sob story or a family to make someone worth saving, especially when they're a victim of someone else and not in control of their actions. I think a fundamental part of superheroes is the idea that all life is valuable, and I think Spider-Man should be representing that. That was improv. I improv'd that. Are you guys proud of it? Are knocked to the ground, and Kraven the Hunter stands above Vermin with a spear to his throat. Peter looks at this absolute beast of a man wearing a whole ass lion's face on his shoulders and, as expected, is a little put off. Peter's all like, "Hey, thanks for the help, but I had this handled."
Hey, yo, I'm from New York. I'm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's from New York, you know how it is. And Kraven's all like, "No, you didn't," before he lifts his spear and tries to kill Vermin. Peter stops him just in time and is like, "Whoa, hey there, buddy. He's just a regular guy. He didn't do anything wrong. It's not his fault. Hey, the New York Mets, I think they're gonna go all the way this year." Kraven gives I can't do this anymore. Kraven gives some shit about how he's a hunter and Vermin is the prey, and it's a law of nature, and he expected a natural hunter like a spider to understand that. And so, because of this little itty-bitty, tiny disagreement about the value of human life, Peter and Kraven fight. Now, Kraven surprisingly holds his own against Peter, using raw strength and tactics and tools that Peter's not used to from anyone he's faced. But at the end of the day, Kraven is just a man, and Peter's able to take him down because he's a Spider-Man. Do you get that? During the fight, Vermin escapes. Peter looks away and looks back, and then Kraven's gone too, and Peter's like, "Oh, come on." Peter realizes that these animal villains can't just be a coincidence, especially when a guy named Kraven the Hunter comes up out of nowhere. Somebody has to be behind this for whatever reason.
Where do all these guys come from?
After making this connection, he starts investigating, and he goes to the one person he knows who might have the answer. Aaron Davis walks to his car at night. The single lamp that lit the empty street is smashed, leaving Davis in darkness. His hand is webbed to a car, and a dark figure stands behind him. Spider-Man interrogates Davis. He's scary, he's mean, he's effective. He's grown a lot in the last 4 years since they've spoken.
Wait, why
doesn't know
Davis?
much. Peter never expected that he would, but there's been this guy going around, taking desperate people off the street, offering them a lot of cash, and the next day they come out as some crazy supervillain, either with a robot suit or genetically modified or some other crazy shit. And it's been hurting a lot of innocent people. During this sequence is when we're introduced to a character that I am dying to have in these movies. Felicia Hardy, aka the Black Cat.
Wait, I should rewind. We should have a day when you stream Splatoon and play Salmon Run. I know it's been a hot minute, right? We will react to the Splatoon 3 trailer, I think, after this
some
one.
other crazy shit. And it's been hurting a lot of innocent people. During this sequence is when we're introduced to a character that I am dying to have in these movies. Felicia Hardy, aka the Black Cat. Black Cat is another great character that is long overdue to be in a movie. She was almost in Spider-Man 2, and she made it into the game. And she was barely in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but that doesn't really count. I really like the Felicia Hardy character because she's this really interesting impact on Peter's life. Not necessarily being a bad influence, but pushing him in ways that are different from other romantic interests. Being that she first met Peter as Spider-Man, and that's what she knows him as. And I think it'd be really cool to see that relationship explored throughout the college trilogy. As for casting, I've seen a lot of names get thrown around, but I was thinking Alexa Demie would be a really interesting Black Cat.
Yo, I've been... It's so funny he mentioned this, man. I've been, like, watching Euphoria cringe compilations and Euphoria memes, and honestly, I have a crush on Alexa Demie because I think she's really hot and attractive.
Plays Maddie in Euphoria. A
But
show
I could see her being as a Black Cat. I could see it.
It's very good, but also traumatized me a lot, so I don't know if I can responsibly recommend it to my audience. And she does a good job of balancing the kind of snarkier, mean energy, but is also given moments of empathy and emotion that work really well. So we established that Black Cat is a recurring cat burglar, but she's only been stealing from like big corporations.
Based Felicia.
And lately, she's been trying to investigate the same string of villains that Peter has. This is kind of a departure from the comics, but it can help us to understand Felicia a little bit more, and also give us some moments alone with her as she does her own stuff for her own story. Felicia wants Peter to work together with her to figure out what's going on. We can see that the two of them have some good chemistry together. Felicia is pretty flirty with Peter, but not so much that it comes across as gross, like tastefully flirty, you know? But Peter, being the angsty little asshole that he is right now, refuses, and he decides to do things on his own. He did get one piece of information from her, though.
I work
the man
alone.
that's been going around and taking people off the street, his name is Miles Warren, a scientist working at Roxxon Labs. It doesn't have to be Roxxon, there's like a million evil corporations in Spider-Man media. Just like throw a dart at a board and pick one. Peter's not sure why Warren is doing this or how high it ends up going, but he's determined to put a stop to it before anyone else.
Yeah, Black Cat would make sense,
Throughout
yeah.
the second act, we keep cutting back to Kraven. After his fight with Spider-Man, he's completely embarrassed and ashamed. His wife Alexandra tries to console him.
Like
but even she
Spectacular.
doesn't agree with
Spectacular
Spider-Man's
did this
ideals
already.
about hunting human beings. He starts to train even harder, studying whatever footage and reports of Spider-Man that he can find so he can prove himself as the best fighter in the world. He starts to push his wife away to the point where she stands in front of him, suitcase in hand, and forces him to make a choice. She knows he's a good man, but this obsession is eating away at him and turning him into a monster. But Kraven doesn't listen, and Alexandra leaves him to fight his battle on his own. That's when Kraven is approached by Miles Warren. Warren tells Kraven that his employer is the same one that sent him the anonymous note. Warren offers to help Kraven with his little spider problem by giving Kraven powers he could only dream of. With his help, Kraven can be the ultimate hunter. So Peter goes to investigate one of Warren's labs. He sneaks in through the ceiling and starts to go through all the different projects, animal experimentation, weapons manufacturing, all the same stuff that's been going out to people on the street. As he's searching, he finds a small metal container. Peter opens the case and we see a small piece of black goop that was being contained. Before Peter can really react, Black Cat drops in behind him, also investigating Warren's lab. As Peter turns to look at Felicia, the goo quickly comes alive and jumps out of the case onto the floor.
Just like
catching itself
Spectacular.
on the shoe. Not noticing that it escaped, Peter closes the case and begrudgingly agrees to work.
I mean, here's the thing, guys. I'm experimenting, but if you guys want the Just Chatting live streams to be a weekly thing, let me know.
With Cat to figure out who's funding the lab. They start going through the lab's records and files, and Felicia starts to talk to Peter. And here we can learn a little bit more of her backstory. When she was younger, her dad went to jail, and ever since she's been on her own, stealing to survive. We also established that she was one of the first people that Warren did experiments on, giving Felicia
I'm
her
digging
own
this
power,
story so
and she
far.
wants to stop it so nobody else ends up like her. Before they're able to get the information that they need, an alarm goes off, and they're forced to escape from some guards together. Maybe here we can get like a little action scene showing off how good of a team they make. During this, a piece of Peter's costume is torn off and left behind before they escape and end up on a rooftop outside. Felicia again suggests that they start working together on this, but Peter, still hurting after losing Ned and MJ, tells her he works alone and doesn't need anyone else. Felicia, frustrated with Peter and his stubborn bullshit, just lays into him, calling him out for not being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man anymore. Once he started dealing with Avengers and these big threats, it seems like he gave up on the little guy, and she's giving him the chance to make up for that. It gets to the point where she's just like, fuck you, man, I'm over this, before leaving Peter on the New York rooftop alone.
The thing with music is, man, like, as seen with our previous live streams, I might get, like, they might just cut off the live stream due to copyright.
Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done.
Cut back to Kraven. At another one of
Sorry,
Warren's
won't
labs,
be good.
Warren uses the DNA of every known hunter in the animal kingdom, combined with stolen leaves of the heart-shaped herb from Wakanda to give him his powers. That's a little reference to, imperialism there. It doesn't turn him into a big furry lion man or anything, that'd be weird. Instead, it gives him supernatural strength, speed, senses, everything he needs.
Well, what's
to be
up,
the most
random
dangerous
guy?
hunter on the planet. I'm giving these characters powers because, like, we established that Peter's, like, really strong in this universe. Warren learns that there's been a break-in at one of the other labs. While there, the guards hand Warren the piece of costume that Spider-Man lost, which Kraven can smell Spider-Man's scent all over. Warren hands Kraven the piece of cloth, and Kraven
Yeah, Black Cat's supposed to be
After his fight
attractive.
with Cat, Peter shows up to the cemetery. What Felicia said was starting to get to him, and he needed a space where he can think things through. He stands over May and Ben's grave before his spider sense starts going crazy. In the blink of an eye, Peter's hand jolts up to catch something. A large, poison-tipped spear that was heading straight for his head. Kraven
No,
let him
Andrew,
drop
I have not.
Peter's spider
I
sense
haven't
knew
I
something
haven't
going on.
finished it.
But that's not right. He took down this guy no problem last time.
Haven't played
Kraven
in a long
lunges at
time.
Peter, with such speed and strength that it completely catches him off guard.
I really
Craven
want to
is
live
a
stream
total
control for you
powerhouse,
guys.
like almost Hulk level of sheer strength. He just beats the absolute living shit out of Peter, flinging him around, slamming him to the ground, just completely destroying him. Peter gets some good hits in, but this amount of power and wits is just something he's not ready for, especially by surprise. Craven stabs Peter through the leg with his spear. Peter screams in agony as the poison starts to paralyze him. Craven goes on to say that spiders are renowned hunters, but Peter is nothing more than a man, and Craven is going to prove that he's the greatest hunter in the world. As Peter's screaming in pain, the only thing he can focus on is May's grave. She's okay. Everything is okay. Craven notices that Peter's attention is elsewhere, and so he grabs a shovel. As Peter's vision starts to blur, Craven says that Peter doesn't deserve an honorable burial, but he'll give him one anyway. Peter is screaming at Craven, his words slurring, begging him not to.
It's like the
Craven
cover.
takes the
That's pretty
shovel,
cool.
approaches May's grave, and he begins to dig.
Hey, good point to put an ad in. Way to keep the audience captivated, man. I am working on a Batman video essay, guys. That should be coming out soon.
Gasps for air. He opens his eyes, but he's greeted with nothing but darkness. Unsure how he's still alive, Peter places his hand in front of his face and meets wood. The camera pulls up through 6 feet of dirt and into the rainy night air to reveal a gravestone. May Parker's gravestone. Peter starts to panic before breathing a sigh of relief. She's not here. Craven must have switched the coffins. He's a monster, but even he has a sense of honor. Peter cries out in agony as he pushes against the wood, but it doesn't budge. The pressure of the earth turning this thin piece of wood into pure concrete. He punches at the wood. He punches
Is it like
again.
the blue ball
Anyone
video?
else would
Yeah,
give
it
up at
is.
this point.
It's similar.
There's something else fueling him. Her
I'm
grave.
excited for it. I'm gonna try. See, I'm gonna try to make that video a bit more serious. It's still gonna be funny, but it's gonna be a bit more serious.
Filed her grave. I'm gonna kill him. Peter screams in agony as his fist breaks through the wood of the coffin. Dirt begins to pour over him, suffocating him, and Peter begins to dig. His screams of agony.
Man,
muffle
there's a
Peter's
lot
voice.
happening in
He's
this.
exhausted.
The only thing with this pitch, there's a lot of good ideas, but it's like learning how to balance all these good ideas in like a 2-hour runtime. That's gonna be difficult.
He's in pain. He's terrified. He's angry. But more importantly, he's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Out of breath and furious, Peter looks down at his hands, at this new suit, and he feels the power rush through him. He starts to piece things together. The lab, the container. This thing must be some nanotech and it healed him from the poison. But he doesn't have time to think about it right now. Because now, he's on the hunt. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot emotionally. I apologize for that. The last movies were like silly little Disney Channel rom-coms. And this is like, oh, I'm going to bury you in your mom's grave. This is fucked up. This is a little much. We cut to Craven, who after defeating Spider-Man, goes to find his lost wife. He catches her in an airport before she gets on a flight back to Africa, and he tries to reconnect with her. He tells her he did it. He finally beat the spider. And Alexandra is disgusted with him. Hunting human beings, experimenting on himself, burying a man in his mother's grave. Alexandra is horrified at what Sergei has become. Before they came here, he was a good, kind man. He cared for animals, valued life, but now this city, this mission, has turned him from that good man into a monster. Craven tries to talk to Alexandra.
I need a
to
Batman
assure her
voice
that
over
it's
the
finished,
video.
that it's done, but she wants
That'd
nothing
be
to
funny.
do with him. And without another word, she leaves him. Craven, heartbroken, looks to a nearby newspaper stand where he sees a front page titled Vermin on the Loose. Craven clutches the newspaper in his hand. His last mistake, his only failure. He knows what he has to do. So, Peter finds Felicia. How does he find Felicia? That's a really good question. I have no idea. But he finds her and he asks for her help. Felicia gives him shit, saying that he thinks he can just show up in some new suit and act like he cares about anybody but himself, and she's not gonna fall for that, especially since it's clear that he's only doing this for personal reasons. Peter tells her that she's right about all of that, but if they don't work together, then innocent people are gonna get hurt, and he knows he has a responsibility to stop that. Kat agrees to help him, and the two try and figure out Craven's plan. Peter remembers that Craven said something about proving he was the best hunter, and he puts together that he has to be going after Vermin. Vermin is probably the biggest victim of Warren's experimentations. A regular guy turned into a monster with no control over his actions, and Craven wants to kill him for sport. From here, Peter and Felicia try and track down Vermin before Craven can get to him. They pull up social media feeds, schematics of the city to see where he's been going. Felicia is like the new guy in the chair, except she's a girl and she's standing. It's a complete shift in the dynamic, guys. We're not ready for this. They figure out that Vermin is
Girl
regularly seen going
standing,
underground in
not
one
in a
area of the
chair.
city. down into the sewers of Staten Island. They travel through the sewers and they find Vermin just in time to
Staten
save
Island,
Craven.
man.
And here we get
It's
this really
just
cool big action
easy
scene
to
that
trash
everyone
on
got mad at
Staten
me for not
Island.
having in my Amazing Spider-Man 2 rewrite, where the symbiote as well as Cat's help allow Peter to get the upper hand over Craven. But Peter, fueled by rage and anger, doesn't stop the fight. He continues to punch Craven while he's down, over and over and over again. Craven is a bloody mess, egging Peter on, begging him to put him out of his misery and prove that the spider is the superior hunter. Before Peter can land another punch, Felicia grabs his arm and stops him. The fight is over. It's done. Peter falls to his knees, out of breath, and starts to calm down. No Way Home did something that I fucking loved. It put Peter through so much emotionally that it pushed him to his breaking point, nearly killing Green Goblin. It showed that this version of Peter has genuine anger issues and rage inside of him, and that has the potential to go somewhere dangerous. You could say that the decision with the grave is a bit too far, and I admit it probably is. I don't expect them to actually do that, but it's a quick and simple way to get the audience on the side of Peter and absolutely hate Craven. And so that way we're with him in this moment and we understand why he's doing this. The same way that I want these movies to continue the themes of No Way Home, I want to continue pushing Peter like that until we see what his breaking point is. Last time it was Toby who stopped Peter from killing someone. This time it was Felicia. But what would happen if nobody was there to stop him? We cut to the inside of someone's private office, a massive window overlooking the entirety of New York. Shell companies, rent prices, crime waves, everything leads to one person, one kingpin of crime. From the darkness of the ceiling, Spider-Man appears. Peter says to this mysterious man, "You know, your buddy Warren wasn't so talkative with the cops. Good thing I have a way with words, Mr. Lincoln." L. Thompson Lincoln turns to face Spider-Man and
Gosh,
laughs
he's
before
scary.
pouring a glass of whiskey. "Please, Spider-Man. You're here on
Tombstone is
business.
scary.
You can call me Tombstone." I want Tombstone to be one of the overarching villains of the trilogy. He's been playing the long haul, working from the shadows, pulling the strings, using Spider-Man to make the city his. Whenever there's a superhero fight, property values go down, so he's been creating all these villains so that he can buy out all this land for cheap and charge crazy high rent prices. He didn't want Kraven to actually kill Spider-Man, he just wanted Peter distracted long enough for the check to get cashed. As for the casting, I would say Marvin Jones III. He's an albino actor just like Tombstone is, and he voiced the character in Spider-Verse, so just pull Zoe Kravitz and bring it back. He was also Tobias Whale in Black Lightning, and he was pretty good in that, so just give him a big Marvel role, why not? Peter tries to
That's
surprise
interesting.
Tombstone by punching him, but it's like punching a brick wall. Even with a symbiote, it doesn't fit.
Hey, take care,
Tombstone
Neos.
responds by smacking Peter to the ground like it's nothing and standing on his chest. Tombstone goes on to threaten Peter. Ever since Fisk went under the radar, he took over his whole operation, and he's not going to let some punk kid take it away from him. Spider-Man can fight his villains, stop some muggings, help old ladies cross the street, but at the end of the day, this is his city, and he'll do whatever he has to keep it. And on the subject of names, Tombstone says as he releases Peter, "He may not have any records, but everyone has a birth certificate if you look hard enough. Mr. Parker." Peter is silent. Without another word, he leaps out of the window and swings away. We then cut to Felicia's apartment as Peter lands on her balcony. The two of them look at each other in silence. Sure, they work together to stop Craven, but what's next? Is Felicia going to go back to stealing diamonds and Peter sulking in his room, the two of them destined to work alone? What a lot of people may not know is that during that initial run of Spider-Man comics, co-creators Stan Lee and Steve Ditko weren't working together the whole time. It definitely started that way, with Stan plotting the books and writing dialogue, and Steve doing the art, and the two of them created the most important and special Spider-Man stories ever told. But over time, Steve decided he preferred working alone. So the two of them started to grow apart and work together less and less until eventually they stopped communicating altogether. And it was this era of Spider-Man comics where Peter started to regress as a character.
I know.
Be selfish.
I'm just getting
Stan
hooked,
actually
man.
came
I
back
just
to
kind of
work
want to
hard
finish
John
it now.
Romita Sr. to deliver even more incredible and classic tales. But by then, his relationship with Ditko had been completely ruined. Now, I am not trying to disrespect the legacy of this run or of these legendary creators, but the story of these incredible people drifting apart entirely for the detriment of their most impactful character is...
Oh, it's
kind of
10:30 in the
it was
morning
their
there.
collaboration that made Spider-Man special. That
Yeah,
gave him
yeah,
his
because you're in the
heart.
Philippines, makes
The
sense.
two of them, together. Peter takes off his mask. "Hi, my name's Peter Parker." Black Cat smiles. "Felicia Hardy." Before Peter can say another word, Felicia grabs him and kisses him. The music builds, and we cut to Spider-Man and Black Cat leaping and swinging across rooftops. The two of them in perfect harmony as Peter finally remembers what it's like to not be alone, soaring through the night sky together.
That's the end. Going out with the bad girl, dressed in black.
fuck, I forgot the credits scene, because you know it's not a real movie unless there's a credits scene. Ha ha ha. Alright, so earlier in the movie, Rand Robertson invited Peter to his New Year's party. Peter initially said no, but we see that he's changed his mind and is there with all of his classmates, finally getting to know them. He even brought Felicia with him and everything. He's wearing the t-shirt from his old high school, and Flash is all like, I don't remember you at all, but, you know, he doesn't really think much of it. Then there's a knock on the door, and Rand asks Peter to go get it. Peter gets up and makes his way to the front door and opens it. And it's Ned Leeds! Surprise! He's the Hobgoblin now. He comes in, throwing a bunch of pumpkin bobs, everybody's dying, and he's going, ah! And he's like, I'm the CEO of sex, remember my name. I think I woke my parents up with that joke. Peter opens the front door, and he sees her. Her hair has dyed, she's dressing differently, but still, it's her. MJ Watson. MJ looks at Peter, down at his shirt, and then over at Felicia, and laughs. Woo! Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. Peter looks at MJ, and then over at Felicia, and then back at MJ. Oh, fuck.
Only to have his problems, am I right? Between Alexa Demi and Zendaya, what a difficult life you have, Peter. Watching MasterChef while my fasting is going on is a
You've no
bad
doubt
idea.
noticed that I've been pulling pretty consistently from one of two sources when it comes to this video. Obviously, Kraven's Last Hunt, and then the other being the Spectacular Spider-Man. And I'm doing that for a couple reasons. The first being, I'm not that smart, and I figured if I reference things from a show that people like, I can trick you all into thinking that the video's good. But the second being that that version of Spider-Man is my Spider-Man.
Exactly. I am fully on board with this guy's opinion.
And is what made me fall in love with his character in the first place. I grew up with the old comics and the Raimi movies, and I loved them as a kid, but there came a time when I sort of outgrew those stories for a while, and I kind of assumed I was into the character solely because I was young and it was popular. And then, back in like middle school, I managed to catch some...
Okay, me and this guy are like the same
and I
age.
remember specifically it was the Lizard episode that made me fully connect with what the character was and represented. The way that the show pulled from all corners of Spider-Man media to make a true, definitive Spider-Man for the modern era, something that can be loved both by kids and
I hope
adults
they
alike, really spoke to
revamp
me.
this
Something
series in
just
some
clicked.
miracle.
And so now, No Way Home is out in the world, finally free from hype and expectations and leaks, and it delivered something that truly captures what I love about the character. All the stakes, the consequences, the personal drama, and especially with the way this movie left off, there's more potential than ever to have people fall in love with Spidey all over again. So, of course, if I was writing these next movies, I would want to pull from my favorite version of the character. It's only natural. But if that doesn't happen, and they decide to pull from some other source material that I'm not as connected with, that won't be the end of the world. So as long as they can keep this direction that they've set up and continue these stories of consequences, pain, and personal loss, and a hero that keeps getting back up to do what's right regardless of how much the world knocks him back down, I'll be perfectly satisfied. And millions of people can watch these movies about this fantastic, fantastic character, and we can all say, holy shit, I love Spider-Man. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Okay. You know what? I'll give it a like. I'll support the guy. Before I move on to the next video, guys, I am going to take a bathroom break. I'll be right back. It's cold. I'm back, baby. Okay. Gets a third movie in Spider-Gwen and Venom and is introduced. That'd be pretty interesting, man. That would be pretty cool. Okay. What's the next video? Oh yeah, Splatoon 3, baby. Let's see the trailer. They have the new salmon run. Let's see. Still no Breath of the Wild 2, folks. Oh my gosh. Fish stick. Flipper flopper. When will Multiverses release again? We don't know. It will release this year. My guess it will be summertime when it's released. Because they're in beta testing right now. I haven't played Splatoon 1, sadly. You can throw the eggs now. I hope my PC can handle it. It doesn't look too heavy duty. I don't think it will require too much. I could be wrong though. Salmon run. Next wave. Is that it? Pretty epic. What other videos, guys? What other videos? It's like Smash Brothers, honestly. It's like it's very much like that. Rumbling, rumbling, it's coming, rumbling. Oh my gosh, I've been playing Sifu, guys, and it's so difficult. Oh, you were just playing Salmon Run? Rats along his back when he calls your name, it all fades to black. What is this? What is this? It's the Charlie verse. Chug Jug with Rumbling. Oh, a classic video. A classic video made by yours truly.
Do it, Charlie. That's immediately hot. Do it. I can't get boners and I'm still balding. What's that movie with Nicolas Cage where he's all fucking ice cream? That felt so fucking good. I'm drooling harder than Kevin Spacey on Boy Scouts of America. Sad, yeah, baby. Sad move. Painful. We finally found an excuse to do the little nitro. Today's a big celebration.
You do a little nitro?
We have to do something. This feels right, honestly. This does. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, should I? Let's see. Let's go to the Ranny catalogs, shall we? Oh gosh. It's been a while, guys. I made a lot of videos. It takes a while. I'm still learning about YouTube. Oh gosh. Let's watch this, my friends. This was me October 8th. Oh gosh. I was 17. 16, 17 when I made this video.
Hey,
Oh gosh.
how you doing? My name is Rick Grimes, and I'm here to show you how to prepare yourself.
This was a fun video to make. It was one of my more successful ones early on. Like still trying to figure YouTube out.
First, you're gonna need your essentials. You're gonna need certain things and stuff in order to prepare yourself a pancake. First, you're gonna need some water, because water is life. And you're gonna need 2 eggs. The 2 eggs provide
Y'all were like
consistency.
babies when
Without
this
them,
came
they're
out.
just gonna fall apart. Then you're gonna need some milk, butter.
Oh, this was the first video you watched of mine? That's crazy. You're an OG, man.
Flour, vegetable oil, sugar, vanilla.
Really, Andrew? That's crazy. I think you told me this before. I probably forgot, but that's crazy.
Salt for backup. If you want your
I used to be
pancakes
such a
to
big
be
Walking Dead fan, guys, and then it just became boring, honestly. The show got really boring. You know what is a good zombie show? I finished watching it with my mom recently. All of Us Are Dead. It doesn't take itself way too seriously. It has some really goofy moments, but it's a fun show to watch. South Korea and zombies, it's a match made in heaven. They do a really good job with zombies.
good, you're gonna need every single
I was a
one of these
big
things.
Walking Dead fan
What
back
you
in the
wanna do
day.
now is mix all the dry ingredients. Seriously, who
Oh, the
keeps
people at
putting
your
this
school watch it.
here?
All of Us Are Dead. Yeah, it's
Okay,
a good
just
show.
mix
It's
2 cups
a
of
good show. It's
flour,
fun.
a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 cups
What
of
scene in All of Us Are Dead?
Then you crack the eggs. What you want to do now is melt the butter. I will put it in the microwave for about a minute, and then it should be done.
Ooh, it's ready.
Yeah, I filmed this with my friends.
Sorry you had to see that.
It's weird, like you see yourself as in these videos, and
Why are you
your mind
watching
goes
videos?
back to
Well, first off,
what you were thinking about and who you were
second,
in that year, and now
you can
I'm
literally
older.
say
It's
that
like you
put
really
your
see
blood,
yourself grow up
sweat,
through these
and
videos.
tears into this pancake. Okay, in order to mix all these stuff, you're gonna use this thing right here.
Hey, what's up, Moon Samurai? How are you? Welcome to the live stream, man. This is my first time actually doing a just chatting live stream in this format. So if you guys want me to continue doing this, let me know.
Okay, this is better. And then you're done. Okay, seriously? Who keeps doing this? We're really close to being finished, but it's not over yet. You gotta put the pancake batter on the pan. Hence the name pancake.
But this was a Walking Dead video I made like
Okay, we're just gonna pour in a little bit.
2013, man. So I was like 16, 17 when this came out,
Come on, Mom.
or when I filmed this.
Hurry up.
What is this channel about? That's a good question, guys. What is this channel about? I'm still trying to figure that out, to be honest. So this channel, I would say, is mostly, it's just me. Like, I just kind of post whatever I want. It's mostly centered around gaming, anime, pop culture stuff, and I do reaction videos. I do live streams. I do a lot of live streams. But this is my first time doing a just chatting live stream just to see if y'all like it and if I enjoy it. But my channel got really big because I made an anime opening. It's the Spider-Man anime opening, and that's how most people know me. But I kind of shifted away from that direction. Oh, is it really, Wolf? Dang, you changed your name? Yeah, it's mostly a gaming channel. Hey, wait, which wolf are you? Is it Wolfie or Galaxy Wolf?
Gotta discuss them.
I'm guessing it's Galaxy Wolf.
This is survival. You gotta let it heat up in both faces. You gotta start flipping it. You know, like how your best friend starts flipping on you by stealing your wife and taking your son that never loves you back, or how the group of people you try to help out never appreciate what you do for them, and then you start going crazy by start talking to some dead people on the phone. Lori, is that you?
Yeah, Galaxy Wolf.
I'm not crazy. I ain't crazy. Lori is. Okay, so now we're done. Now we're ready to serve it to y'all folks. I'm gonna let my son try it out. Carl, get over here.
So this kid is an actual actor. He's hasn't acted in a while, but he's now in college. I think he was like in middle school around this year, but now he's in college. It's just crazy how time flies, man.
This is my son, Carl. Carl, what'd you do today?
I shot a man in the head.
Okay, Carl, we're gonna need to talk about that later. For right now, I want you to try out this pancake I made and tell the folks watching what you think about it.
This is bad.
Really?
It's horrible.
It ain't right to tell a lie, Carl. Tell the truth.
I'm being honest. This is bad. It's really bad.
You're bad. Now get out of here. No one of you anyways.
Chains were better.
You better stop talking to me like that, boy.
I like this video. It's cute.
What's wrong with that child? Puberty, probably. I don't see what's wrong with this. I'm gonna try it out.
Man, Walking Dead used to be such a good show, but it literally became The Walking Dead. They just keep airing it because of money, you know.
Wow, put on this. Oh yeah, blood, sweat, and tears. Not a good idea. Look, I know this pancake may not be the prettiest looking.
The lighting is so bad you can't even see it.
But that's the kind of world we live in right now. A world that's dirty and tastes really bad. But you gotta keep moving forward. You gotta keep pushing until you're finished. I hope you take my words to heart. Dang it, Carl! Shane's were better! Dude,
And that's my friend Andrew. He sometimes shows up on stream. He's busy doing
Rick Grimes doesn't play
work.
games.
Memories. No, there's Daryl Dixon and there's that one lady. Is it Carol? Yeah, Carol's still there.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, oh God.
How you doing, baby?
We're almost
Oh, hi, boys.
Hi.
He's a man now.
Oh, really?
I ain't a good flipper, cause I ain't a dolphin.
Oh,
Again?
Coral.
because I can always cut it. Sorry, Mom.
Respect your mother.
We're done. We're done. You can leave right now. I mean it. We're done.
This was fun to make, man. I need to make another video with a bunch of friends, but you know, we're just grown up now, so it's like hard to plan it.
Do what we're done.
Can you not see Raiza? Oh yeah, I can see. You
Yeah,
guys,
that's
you
my
know-
younger brother.
Seriously.
Get the tilangga.
Great job.
I was like, how can you not see him?
Seriously, who was on watch?
You can't throw it at me.
I saw that coming.
Crazy.
We'll keep it. But I got
I'm like the same. I haven't really changed. What other videos to watch, guys? Father, when I get to leave to be on my
Father,
own.
when can I leave to be on my
Oh,
own?
I've got the whole world to see.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see. Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see. Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world.
Cringe, cheesy, but good at the same time. I'll take it. Thank you. What is this? I watched Encanto. What's happening? We don't talk about Bruno. No, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. Hey. Yeah, I mean, I do look a bit older, which is expected because I am older, but not as much difference.
Disney
you
and
know?
Pixar are starting now to dive into more deeper topics with their films.
Soul dove into the topic of existentialism, Luca dove into hiding your true self from people, and more recently, Encanto dove into intergenerational trauma. Intergenerational trauma is when a person in a family experiences an extreme trauma, then that trauma gets passed down from generation to generation. In this instance,
Yeah, I liked
Abuela
Encanto. It was a fun
experiences
movie to
her
watch.
husband getting killed in front of her, thus creating a miracle. She wants to keep the miracle alive, and by doing so, she pressures her kids and her grandkids to achieve perfection.
You have a cloud.
I know, Mama, but now I can't find Antonio. What do you want from me?
In Luisa's song, she went into depth of what it's actually like having this immense pressure on you to be perfect all the time.
No, I mean, I don't know who else it would be. Galaxy Wolf. Like, why would you mention Galaxy Wolf? Because it's like, I don't know who else would know you. Yeah, yeah. Encanto is Colombian. That's true. Whoa.
I also really liked how the animators went out of their way to add little details to enhance the characters' personalities. I like how Felix is a supportive dad and husband when he gave Antonio a thumbs up for warming up Abuela seat, even though Abuela says,
I'm sure today we'll find a way to put your blessings to good use.
more of the supportive trait of Felix's character, he has also always been telling Peppa to quote-unquote let it go, meaning her emotions.
Let it in, let it out, let it rain, let it snow, let it go. That's what I'm always saying, bro.
Peppa's whole side of the family is very caring and supportive. Dolores
Too
and
many
Abuela
songs.
have
It is a
been
Disney
shambles,
movie.
and Camilo's first
I like
review was
Dolores.
about
I think she's
Antonio
cute.
because
I think her
Dolores
design's really nice.
I don't
I think my favorite characters are Mirabel and Bruno.
Another detail that I noticed was when Camilo was calming his mother down and her lightning struck him. He started shape-shifting into all the adults in the family, since taking care of somebody is seen as a very adult thing to do. Color in film is one of my favorite ways to symbolize emotions for a setting. I saw that color played a part in Isabella's dress. Her dress used to be the color pink, which symbolizes innocence, playfulness, and femininity. When she found herself and burst out of the perfect bubble that Abuela created for her, the colors on her dress were primarily blue and yellow. Blue symbolizes confidence, fulfillment, and stability, and yellow symbolizes happiness, optimism, and
Yeah,
wisdom.
Felix is a good dad.
In her song, she even says,
I'm so sick of pretty, I want something true, don't you?
also how Bruno is associated with the color green, which has always
Bruno,
been a
man.
color to symbolize evil. But for the Madrigal family, green means something positive.
Poor guy.
Bruno was accepted back into the family as himself. In the final song, Isabella's dress and hair are more green, meaning she finally embraced her true self. Mirabel's glasses are also green, and we've seen throughout the film that Mirabel has always been able to see everybody's true self beneath Abuela's perfect mold. Encanto only came out 2 to 3 months ago, and the fanbase is still strong. I like how a lot of Latino, Afro-Latino, and Hispanic people like myself are relating to the movie because that's what the movie is representing. When people are making a movie that is specifically about intergenerational trauma, all about a different topic, isn't right. Having characters that aren't canon or proven to have a mental disorder and forcing it upon these characters and making the movie all about that or LGBTQ takes away from the meaning of the movie.
I agree.
Bruno is superstitious. And when he throws a salt, that's all due to superstition. Since Mirabel was supposedly the cursed child, that's why he threw the salt on her. Also the phrase, that's an expression from Latin American culture. I've heard this since I was a kid. It is used when someone gets hurt, and since Casita was the one hurt, that's why Bruno says it. The little noise
Casita.
Dolores makes is not tics, it's just a part of her character, and it's also because she's a gossiper of the family.
Dolores is so cute.
She's gonna tell everyone.
Like I said, the movie does dive into mannerisms of Latinos.
Now, which
and
Encanto power would you
that's
want,
just
guys?
another mannerism.
I like Antonio's
The
power, being
movie
able to talk
revolves
to
around
animals
Colombian
and like
Latino
control them.
culture
Pretty
overall.
much, it's pretty
But
cool.
people ruin that when they force sexualities or mental disorders and make it into something that it's not. Forced representation isn't good
Yeah.
representation.
I don't like forced representation. I agree, Mio.
expectation. Let's not mold something into something that was never meant to be.
That's a cute video. I liked it. Let's give it a like, folks. I think I'll only watch a couple more, guys, before I, you know, call it.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
Oh, and I got the whole world to see. Okay, let's actually watch this. How do I do this? It's so annoying. I hate this guy. But yeah, I'll watch a few more and then I'll call it a night. Julieta is who again? Oh, the healing one. Is she the healing one with the empanadas?
What you're gonna want to do when you walk in here is to do the left dialogue and try to back him into this corner. When you do the dialogue back in this corner, try to hit him as the dialogue's going, and then you'll get him into this corner and just constantly hit him over and over again, and he won't fight back. At least for me, I've done this multiple times and he has not fought back.
Ooh, I should do that.
You're just gonna want to keep constantly hitting him over and over again until his meter is full and you can do a takedown on him.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's
as
so
you can
helpful.
see, he falls over and you can just move on.
Oh, that's so helpful. I need to know that. I turned 64. Oh man. The arepas. Is seafood that hard? Yeah, man, it's difficult. It's fun because of the combat gameplay is really cool, but it is difficult. Ooh, let's watch Vice. Let's watch a good old Vice video, you know? You know Vice is always in for the, you know, a great feel-good video. Oh, what is this? He was almost in BTS. We gotta watch this. I've been seeing this. I think we're gonna end it after this video. Okay, let's see. I could have been in BTS, guys, but no, I'm not Korean.
근데 그게 제일 아쉬운 것 같아. 항상 뭐 사람들이 아니 그렇게 잘 될 수 있었는데 뭐 왜 나왔냐, 뭐 그 친구들 뭐 부럽지 않냐. 근데 사실 안 부러우면 거짓말이긴 해요. 근데 부러운 거의 기준이 뭐 부도 아니고 명예도 아니고 계속 같이 가잖아요, 그 친구들.
Oh.
그게 좀 부러워요. 나도
The friendship.
같이 있었으면 더 좋았을
The brotherhood. Oh my gosh. If there might be a copyright coming. You're right. Maybe I shouldn't watch this. You're right, Andrew. Let's see. What should we watch? Let's see. You reminded me. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Oh, that's 17 minutes. I don't know if I'd... hiccups. I don't know if I'd want to do that. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, there's a Cuphead show now. Pretty interesting. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Why not? Let's do that. The rumbling. Chug jug. Number 1 Victory Royale. I love this edit. I love this video. I did it. I edited in like late in the night. I gotta go now. Very nice talking to you, bro. Hey, nice talking to you too, Mia. Take care, guys. If you want me to continue doing these live streams, I think I will. I think people seem to enjoy it. I know we got cut off because of copyright, but I think people really liked it. I think I'll do it again this Friday. We'll end it here. We'll end it by watching Chug Jug video, my own video. It's a masterpiece for him. Yo, they're saying there might be an Attack on Titan movie. I really hope so. Because my brother told me, like, based on how the chapters being played out in the episodes, they won't be able to finish it in 12 episodes, the whole story. Hey, what's up, Mason? Yeah, after this most recent episode, my brother's like, they are not gonna be able to finish the whole story in 12 episodes. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna end the stream here, but before I go, I'm gonna put, since I had to redo the live stream because it got cut off. There's a link to our Discord. Feel free to join it. I'm actually pretty active on the Discord, and it's just a great way for me to continue on interacting with all the subscribers and viewers. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do this live stream format again. It was a lot of fun. It was different. I haven't really done it before, but I enjoyed it, and I think you guys did as well before, you know, the copyright strike. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna call it a night, and I'll see you all Friday. I am working on another video essay type of video. I can really see my channel heading in that direction, but it's gonna be about Batman, which will be a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching, and have a good night. I'll see you all this Friday. Take care.